So your name and your title.
Okay, my name is Rob Lampe, and I'm a PhD candidate at Scripps Institution of Oceanography and the J. Craig Venter Institute.
So what science are you working on right now, unless you can't talk about
I can definitely talk about it. Yeah, so I study marine phytoplankton. I'm really interested in them from a lot of different perspectives, but in particular because they're just so important for the carbon cycle and marine productivity. So, phytoplankton produce half the oxygen we breathe and support all the rest of the life, almost all the rest of the life in the ocean. So I'm just really interested in just understanding how they work and really basic ecological questions like why are some here during certain times versus other times? And then also the really big question is how is climate change going to affect these organisms? If the planet and all of us and fisheries and whatnot all rely on these organisms so much, and the climate is changing, what is that going to do to to these really important organisms? So yeah, that's what I'm working on.
well, it sounds like that's what you're also passionate about, because the next question is what kind of science are you passionate about?
Yeah, I'm definitely very passionate about phytoplankton. I really like molecular biology and ecology and genomics and bioinformatics, right? So like using computers to answer some of these questions that I'm talking about. And yeah, just combining those different disciplines together. So being at Scripps and the Craig Venter Institute is really great because I get to, and being in the field of oceanography also, because it's a very interdisciplinary field, and we really get to, work closely with people from other fields, combine techniques from different places.
That goes right into our next question. Who's been an inspiration to you? It doesn't have to be a scientist, but it can be.
Oh shoot, I didn't think about this one beforehand. Yeah, I would say my wife for sure, Molly Maddie. Yeah, but I actually don't have a science background. I studied computer science in undergrad and have more of an engineering background and actually worked in that field before transitioning over to science. And she's been a scientist for much longer and really inspired me to make that transition and keep going. So
I love that. So that goes into what kind of, and be honest, what kind of high school student were you? Like freshman, sophomore? Because you get more serious when you get into, or all of it. What kind of high school student do you think you were?
Yeah, I actually think I got less serious. I think I was more serious as a freshman or sophomore. I don't know. I was a pretty good student in high school. I was pretty focused on school and making good grades. But again, yeah, it was also different. I didn't have much of a science background in high school either, because the high school I went to was very liberal arts focused. So they really emphasize our English and history classes much more than our science classes. So again, yeah, I wouldn't say I had a strong exposure to science as a high school student.
Did you play sports, or were you in arts? Like what was mainly your focus when you were in high school, or what was your extracurricular of choice?
Yeah, I was the pianist for the orchestra.
I was in orchestra too. That's crazy. If you were able to give your high school self advice from your present self, like Marty McFly, go back in time, what would you Marty McFly yourself? What would you say?
Yeah, I would say to try out lots of different things, or get exposed to lots of different fields. Yeah, I think it's kind of easy as a student to kind of get tunnel vision or be like, oh, I really think I want to do this. Like for me, it was like, oh, maybe I want to become an engineer or something. I should be really focused on just this one thing. And I think it's maybe much more important to just get exposure to lots of different careers and fields. And if you're interested in science, get exposed to lots of different types of science to see what you might be really interested in. Because you might find something really exciting that you don't even know that you're excited about.
So when you're talking to these students in classrooms, that's the advice that you would give them. Would you give them any other advice in today's atmosphere?
Yeah. Yeah, I still think it's okay to not go to college or not go to grad school immediately. I would say it's yeah, again, I think it's more important to find something you're really excited about and you want to be the best at whatever that thing is, or yeah, what you're passionate about. And yeah, I would say, you know, if you you know you I would say it's probably, it might even be more beneficial to kind of gain more experience or get exposed to more things before necessarily like jumping straight into something like graduate school, for example, that you might not necessarily be prepared for.
Great. So this is my favorite question. Two random facts that I could not guess about you and could not be Googled until after we post this.
Yeah, okay. I didn't think carefully about this one either. Um, Even though I played piano in the orchestra in high school, I started playing banjo when I was in high school also, and I really love bluegrass music. So unfortunately, I don't play enough. I don't play very much these days, but I would like to. Um, what else? I guess along similar lines, my wife and I used to be radio DJs. We used to host a radio show for like 2 years every Saturday morning. It was called Americana Blues and Company. That was a lot of fun.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh my God.
Yeah, well, you couldn't have Googled it.
That's amazing. All right, Rob, we're excited to have you go into classrooms and to keep on inspiring. I know you've been in a lot of classes. You and Molly both, really been out there with the classroom. So I'm really excited to get you into more classrooms. Teachers, bring Rob in. Like he knows a lot of stuff and he's very inspirational. So thank you so much for your time, Rob. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I'm also just very excited to visit classrooms virtually and hopefully one day in person and talk to your students.
Brilliant. All right, stay curious and keep on sciencing.